Hey there, I just wanted to show you my new little setup that I just finished purchasing just in the last 2 nights. I've been just getting into home audio here for the last couple of weeks doing some research, and I just wanted to show you guys my first time setup. I wouldn't call myself quite an audiophile, but I'm hoping to get to that point. I'm kind of just getting into it after 12 years of not really doing much with audio other than on the PC side. I used to do car audio back in the day in high school about 12 years ago, but yeah, I just wanted to show you my first setups, let you guys see it and see what you think. So I just tonight picked up this Onkyo receiver. It is the TX-SR702 series. So this was an $800 higher end receiver. You can see it's the THX certified Surround EX series. So it is very high end on the audio quality side, which is perfect for somebody looking to get into the audio side of things, and as well as some home theater stuff. So I picked this up after a lot of research. I nabbed it for 75 bucks, which is sweet for an $800 receiver. You can see it's got all the goodies on it here. I just powered it up here, and I just cleaned it off. It was pretty clean and everything. I pulled the top off, and I can show you here. I've still got the screws off. I have to do this one-handed. And I just checked it over, and I work in the IT field, so I just checked over the boards and stuff just visually quickly, just to make sure there's no puff caps or no issues inside. You can see there's a nice 80mm fan there. Some big capacitors sitting there by the power supply side. And yeah, there's lots of goodies going on here. This thing is quite impressive. Like, that is a heat sink and a half. I water cool my PCs downstairs for extreme overclocking, but this is pretty cool to get into something different on the electronic side. Here's the rear for those of you who are interested. Again, this is the 702 series, and you can see it's got just a whack of hookups. 4 optical ports, 1 optical out, 3 digital coax. One of those are out, and then it's got all your channels. Down here you can see whatever you want to hook up, and then you've got your 7.1 surround hookups here. So all in all, great receiver for 75 bucks. I was looking to get into the HDMI side of things because I do have a 46-inch LED TV I just picked up, Samsung, but I decided for the price I'd rather have a higher end rated receiver for a bit better quality, and I'm just going to run everything over digital, like optical and coax, SPDIF, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's cheaper to go this route, and later down the road I'll switch into the THX HD and DTS HD and stuff. So, or sorry, the Dolby Digital HD, I meant, not the THX. And yeah, so it came with the remote, and you can see the manual there, TX-SR702. So that's my new receiver that I plan to power my new speakers with, which I'll show you here in a sec. So next on my list here, now this amp, a lot of you guys aren't even going to recognize. Sorry for the bad lighting in here, but this is an old vintage 1977, I believe it was made, Pioneer stereo amplifier. It's the SA6500 version 2. And this thing is in absolute mint condition. I've had this amplifier for about 10 years, and I picked it up at a garage sale over by my wife's parents' house for $1. That's all I paid, was $1. I looked on eBay. I was going to throw this thing out the other day, and I'm like, I better look up and see what the Audiophile forums are saying about this thing. This thing's worth between $250 and $400 on eBay, and this thing, and those are for much worse condition ones. Mine here doesn't have a single scratch. There is nothing on it. Like, this is like, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's museum quality. There is not a mark, there's not a scratch, there's nothing on it. It's in absolute mint condition, and I just want to show you here, the light's never been changed or replaced, but mine actually has the working LED, which I keep reading online that a lot of people's doesn't. Really the only blemishes on here is you can see a little bit of scuffing up top here on the black. They probably had another unit sitting on top of it, but the front panel has no scratches, and could just blast this cover with some black and it would be in absolutely mint condition. Again, I opened this one up and quickly blew it out with air. No puff caps, no blown fuses, no nothing. It works perfectly. I've used it before, and so you can see the hookups here. So again, this is an old Pioneer 6500 version 2. This thing is rated at 30 watts RMS per channel, from what I remember. And yeah, some people have said that in the actual specs at half volume, this thing easily puts out over 100 watts RMS. So that being said, I'm going to show you my speaker setup and what I intend to do with this, and with my Onkyo, my new one. So for my big setup, my speaker side of things, I just picked these up last night after a couple weeks of looking for a good deal. I picked up, I don't know if you guys will recognize these, yeah, especially those of you who are Americans, you may not recognize them. They're the speaker brand known as Paradigms. These towers here are Monitor 9 series. They're the version 2s, I believe. And so these are very high-end speakers, especially for somebody like me, new starting out in the sound world, in the home audio world. These are full-on audiophile speakers. These are over $1,000 for the pair, and I picked up these two Monitor 9s, which haven't even hardly been used. It was an old couple that purchased them. They bought them, stuck them in a bedroom, and they didn't play them for the past 6 years. They only used them for the first year on and off, just very lightly. So these things are in brand new condition. You can see we've got a nice tweeter there. We've got two 6.5-inch woofers, drivers there, ported, extremely solid cases. You can hear there's like no hollow to them whatsoever. Just excellent speakers. I couldn't believe I nabbed these. So I'm going to tell you the price in a sec. So I got the two Monitor 9s. You can see here I've got some Paradigm surrounds, and these are the, I have to remember which model they are. Oh, these are the micros you can see here. So again, these are good speakers. Anything in this Paradigm line is awesome, and these Monitor 9s are one step under their signature, I believe it is, series, which are a lot of money. So anyways, these are going to be my surrounds. And over here, I've got my CC200 center channel. You can see it's quite a big center channel. Like, here's my hand. So that, like, it's a big center channel. But I chose this one over the CC50 that he gave me the choice between, because it looks to be a much bigger and better sounding, deeper sounding center channel. And for free he threw in an older Paradigm subwoofer to match it all. And this thing is in perfect shape. Everything is in perfect shape. It's ridiculous. So this subwoofer is a passive subwoofer. I'll just tip it on its side here. You can see this is the model SB100. It's got the passive subwoofer hookup diagram. So you can see the vents here. I don't have enough light for you to see the woofer in there, but I am planning on running this subwoofer. Now, I haven't done this before, but rather than running it in passive mode off my new Onkyo receiver that I picked up for $75, I'm gonna power it with this old Pioneer SA6500 version 2 amp. Like I said, this is rated at 30 watts times 2 RMS. But people said at half volume this thing puts out over 100 watts RMS per channel. So I'm going to run that sub off of this nice old amp. This thing from the Audiophile reviews puts out some really, really clean power. Nice tight bass, very crisp. And so I'm going to drive that passive subwoofer by itself on that amp. Like I said, I'm new to all of this home audio stuff, so it's going to be an experiment for me. But for $1 that I paid for that amplifier about 10 years ago, can't go wrong. And I may just throw it up on Kijiji or eBay or something sometime for, I don't know, they're going between 250 and 400 bucks. So paying $1 for it was a sweet deal. So that's my setup. I just wanted to show you guys. Please let me know what you think. If you guys have any suggestions for me, like if you think I shouldn't run this passive sub off this amp, I plan to wire it all on its own. I'm going to run signal off of the Onkyo over to this amp, and then the passive subwoofer has crossover built into it, so those of you wondering that. So I'm not going to be feeding it full sound, because this thing, I mean, it's got tone and loudness and stuff like that and bass control, but it's going to be that crossover in the subwoofer that'll take care of that frequency. So yeah, and I'm just going to plan to run the rest of the 5.1 or the other 5 channels just off the Onkyo 7.1 receiver here that I just picked up. So that is my setup. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it's a good buy. Oh, I forgot to say. So guess how much I paid for the 2 Monitor 9s, the 2 Paradigm Minis, the Paradigm SB100 sub, I believe that was, and the CC200 center channel. 320 bucks. So I got almost $2,000 worth of speakers for $320. I got a $450 amp for $1, and I got an $800 amp for $75. So, and I just bought some speaker stands there tonight. So let me know what you think. Let me know how you think these things sound. I'm really excited to hook them up. Thanks for watching.